Hi everyone, Meg here from I Teach Stamping. Welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and flip it into something completely different, keeping the parts of the project that we love and changing what we need to. So let's dive in by taking a look at our inspiration card. And here it is right here. I made this card about a year ago and I made several of them and sent out many of them, but I held on to one because I knew I just had to use this idea again. What I really love about it is that I've stamped the background behind my sentiment layer, but it doesn't fill the whole panel. And then we have the stitch shapes square, that's hard to say 3 times fast, even once for me, and then we have our sentiment on top. So we're going to use this idea and flip it. So let's take a minute and review our supplies. Let's start by talking about our stamps. I'm going to be using 2 different stamp sets. Both are from Stampin' Up. The first one is the Bubble Over stamp set, and it debuted in the 2018 Occasions catalog. And then I'm also going to be using the 2018 Celebration stamp set called Epic Celebrations. So those are the stamps that we're going to need. I'm going to go with 4 different ink pad colors. I've got Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Bermuda Bay, and Real Red. I love this color combination. Then let's go ahead and talk about our cardstock. I've got my card base that's going to be Bermuda Bay, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I scored it at 5 1/2. I have a Whisper White panel that's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Then I have an extra piece of Whisper White. As long as your pieces are going to fit on there, doesn't matter the size, we're going to be die cutting those out. A Whisper White square that's 1 3/4 inches, and then I have a size up from that in the Stitch Shapes framelits in basic black cardstock. We are going to need our Big Shot and then a couple of framelits. So I've got the Bottles and Bubbles framelits. I've got a straw in this small soda pop bottle. That was hard to say fast. And then that Stitch Shapes that we talked about. You're also going to need a 3/4 inch circle punch. I am going to be using a stamp positioner called a Stampin' and then you're also going to want something to clean your stamps because we're going to be changing colors in it. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way and we're going to start with our stamping. Oops, and I forgot to mention, we also need our assorted adhesives. So whatever you want, make sure that you have this. All right, now we're ready to stamp. So I'm going to be stamping my soda pop bottle in Real Red ink. And I have a foam mat underneath because I'm using a photopolymer stamp. I want to make sure it's all good and inked up. And I'm just going to be stamping it onto that larger piece of Whisper White. Like I said before, use up scraps you have. We're going to be die cutting these out. All right, I'm going to take that. Because I used a red ink, I like to go ahead and wash those pretty quick. Now we're ready to stamp our sentiment. I'm going to move the red out of the way, and we're going to stamp our yay. This is one of 2 sentiments in Bermuda Bay ink. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and do our other sentiment in Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Jig because I want to stamp this straight, number 1, but also up in that upper right-hand corner of my Whisper White square. There it is. Okay. So it's going to say, here's to an epic celebration. Yay! Okay. Now, the initial part of our stamping is done. I'm not going to close up ink pads because what I would personally do next is do all of my die cutting. Die cut out your basic black that has the stitched shapes. Go ahead and take care of die cutting out your soda pop bottle. Also one of the straws, and it can go whichever direction you want behind it. And then you're going to want to use that 3/4 inch circle punch and punch out your yay. So go ahead and take care of all of your die cutting. And then we're going to come back and do some more stamping. So let's pretend I've run off to do my big shotting. Now I'm back and here we go. The only piece I'm going to want right now is my basic black. And that's going to be just enough of a placeholder so that I know where to stamp my background images. Now, I like to, anytime I'm going to do this, start with my lightest color ink first. I'm going to be using 2 stamps, this one right here from the Bubble Over and also the Bubbles. So I'm going to use both of those as we go. What I want to do is create that frame around that. You can take a pencil and trace it around. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then you can just erase your pencil marks. Okay, so I can see that I should go out further. There we go. Then I'm going to go back in with my bubbles. All right, Now we're ready to clean that stamp, and I'm gonna close up my Daffodil Delight. I really don't ever like having more than one stamp pad open at the same time because that's when I tend to make uh-ohs. All right, so I'm gonna go back in with that lemon lime twist. And then do the bubbles. Anytime I'm stamping these bubbles, it makes me think of Finding Nemo when they're in the fish tank. Bubbles? My bubbles. All right, so let's take a look how we're doing so far. Looking good. Doesn't that look cool behind it? So let's now go ahead and switch over to our Bermuda Bay. And we're just gonna keep on going with this. I'm gonna use this to kind of help me see where I've got some blank spaces. If it doesn't stamp all the way like mine just did, it's gonna be just fine, I promise. And then let's get some more bubbles. Let's do some bubbles up here. Love the way this is looking. It's just fun. Now I'm gonna bring in the real red, and away we go. All right, so before we officially put up all our first stamps and all of that, let's take a look. I love the way this looks. Okay, so now we're ready to put our card together. So I'm going to start by attaching our stamped panel onto our Bermuda Bay cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in my die cut pieces. On the back of my soda pop bottle, I'm going to put some adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up that straw because I want it coming out from behind. And then as I layer this, I'm gonna fill you in a little bit on the Friday flip. So thank you everyone that asked me to bring this back. Sometimes we get so busy doing new that we forget about some other things. And that was the most requested feature when I did my survey through my newsletter subscribers. So if you are not on my newsletter, make sure you head on over to iteachstamping.com and get signed up for that on the right-hand side. And so I asked, what do y'all want to see for 2018? And so many of you asked me to bring back the Friday flip. So I'm excited to do that. All right, now I'm going to take that yay and I'm going to go ahead and attach it with some more adhesive to the front of our soda pop bottle. And then on the back of this, I'm going to use some dimensionals. So we'll put one there. And the awesome part, this is my favorite part of every card, is when it's just about done. And we're going to take our soda pop bottle and we're going to drop it in place like so. And so there we have it. Look at this fabulous card. I love it so much. I love the bright colors of it. I love having the two different sentiments because really you can use this card for any celebratory reason, right? So let's go ahead and bring back in our inspiration card. We kept the stamped pieces around it. We kept that die cut stitched layer behind it. We added a whole pop of a dimension right there with our soda pop bottles, and then we kept our sentiment. So I hope you enjoyed this Friday flip. If you like the Friday flip and you want to see more like it, please give me a thumbs up below so that I know, and be sure to share this video with your friends. Again, I'm Meg from I Teach Stamping. Thanks for watching, and if you want to order any of the products that I've used today, you can do that at iteachstamping.com/ordersu. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.